explain something to you. I was explaining something about martial arts just now. I was watching these doctors speak about scientific fact that somebody was living in the dependency in certain individuals in the New York, um, the United States and New York state. In the physical realm, you had Brooklyn, and then there was Bronx, and then individuals were speaking about the longevity and existence of an individual in the human condition in the physical reality, and one was analyzing the situation. Let me just tell you this. It's just like, you see, I would never pay for prostitution and love at the time. You want to know why? Because I'm the real emperor. And when I was younger, doing forms of certain things of ignorance, for experience and moving a certain type of way is different. But as one is acknowledgeful of the higher conscience of oneself, one can't even indulge in riskful behavior and causing the 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 disregard with one is when one is this is always regarded, but when one is always regarded but causing a disregard to other individuals a certain type of way that's causing irresponsibility. But I'm a man of regardment and I'm gonna be correctful even when I speak, so I'll show you how I even correct the situation a certain type of way. Now, at a view of existence. But I'm gonna just show you how real this situation is. When one, as myself, is real regard and always regarded, I can't cause no disregard to individuals who who are always gonna be responsible and regarded regardless of way, whichever way you look at it in the physical reality. Now I'm gonna say this. You have individuals even at a time in the physical reality that would say when my wife does her martial arts, the main empress of a point of acknowledgement, even the inner point or the point of acknowledgement one is acknowledging or viewing at one time for one's tribute of honor, of one's dignity, or one's reason of one's high uh, humane condition of existence of one's matter of anatomy of one's social celebration of one's physical reality of the reason of value of at the time, an individual has to really know the knowledgeful reasons of life. So if my wife does a form of like I can't pay for no prostitution because I wouldn't have to. Say my wife had to travel at a time, I wouldn't have to want to murder everybody from the distance she's traveling from to where she's going at the time if it was a point of existence of value. Because if I would do something like that, that means throughout the whole path where my wife travels, my real empress or individuals of the purity of the reason of a form of acknowledgement, I wouldn't have to want to murder an individual from a one point distance to another point distance, especially playing a point on a form of value, because another individual would have to view the situation all through existence at a time for individuals' acknowledgement. And doing a form of a transaction that is common in sequencing of how could I say this? It will always be regarded, but other people's irresponsibility or frivolous that will be disregarded in the physical reality at a time. An individual would have to really know the physical reality of the reasons one will have to pay one's value and close attention to one's humane condition of the reason of one's existence, even on the earth, dealing with high forms of intellect and humane conditions. So I'm going to say like this, although due to the fact of what I'm speaking about, I would just say at a point of time, you know, at a point of time, I would tell an individual, there's only times in life when an individual would even have a form of honor and be gone with funny situations. But I would just tell an individual, even even at a time of the real regardment of oneself, even dealing with value, one has to be intelligent dealing with one's social economics and when it comes to one's anatomy and matter. Oda, Odu, I would say like this. I'm a man of cool acknowledgement. You know, my environment is different from another individual. And I was already in a point of existence cooling off, even in the physical reality, at one's even physical point of existence at the time. And I'm going to show you. See? And I'm a man. And I'm a man of reason for certain acknowledgement in life. And an individual know the honesty when it comes to it. Even now, if my wife, even at a time, does martial arts in the physical reality, this is how serious I am when it comes to my wife when she's in a humane condition in the physical form. When my wife does martial arts to regard her humane condition because of her being higher than individuals in existence, when she does her martial arts and she travels in a car from one point of existence to another point of existence, and she has to have a clear path to everywhere she's going. So she would have to be literally escorted, or not even escorted. It would have to literally be a clear path where nobody can even have a reason of hindering her physical acknowledgement while she travels and does what she wants to do. Because any form, say my wife did an iron body or golden body, and stopping situations a certain type of way at a time in the physical reality, the way she feels comfortable. Now, if she was traveling in a car, it would have to be a clear path. Any time my wife would stop at a light, any time my wife would stop even at a point to make a decision a certain type of way, or even any time, even at how can I say this, a roadblock, everybody would get murdered and assassinated for something so simple. Person being, if somebody even came in front of the car, they would literally get trampled and run over. And on top of it, it would be cleaned right then and there as she continues. It was like it would have to already be cleaned the way she's doing it as she continues, and it cannot be no physical damage to the element of the car or herself in the physical reality. Now, reasons being for this, because as my wife flows through disregarding other people and always regarding herself, and my wife would have to make sure her point of her humane condition always stays precise to the physical reality. Now, this is why I'm an emperor, and this is why I have an empress. Now, it's just like a person saying, "Oh, I'm having a president. I'm gonna have your wife driving another way in the street with somebody else getting." Yeah, that's recognition on that. My wife is not gonna be assassinated because a person voting how she should deal with her humane condition. My wife should literally murder a person that even thinks that her humane condition is going to be voted upon at a time, if of her existence, it was, and on top of it, her being the real empress and the reasons of one's acknowledgement. So I have so many wives. I have my crown empress that has points of existence that a person couldn't even tell the difference from at the time. Say an individual hurts the crown empress a certain type of way. You could cause the devastation of all physical reality and wouldn't even realize it at the time, and then wonder why it would be the end of the world, and wonder why things would be happening in periodical sequences, and then an individual wonder what did they do wrong, or what brought this upon individuals because of the ignorance of people not knowing about their education when it comes to their dignity or or their social economics of their humane condition, of the physical reality, and the regardment and the reasons of one's honor, of one's value, of the reason of education. So one would be literally held such a what would happen to an individual? I think it would already be happening because what individuals would do in the surrounding orbit or the natural access around would be a brutal beating wouldn't be enough for that type of person in life because it would have to be endless in the paradise. It would have to be just a person that just called upon just as they look at it. And for real. Because my wife, somebody endangers me, and I'm told you should listen to my documentary. Somebody endangers my life. That's it, all day, all day gone. Somebody endangers my wife's life. The vitalness of the reason of the social economic conditions a certain type of way. And I don't want to put it on myself because I travel naturally viewing certain things. So a person doing it to my wife, the point of the real sensitivity, the second in command then to me, oh my God, it's just like, hey, listen, I'm finishing that automatically. It's just like walking by, like you fuck up once, all day you be chained up all day, always chained up. Just anytime a upset condition, a feel of a point where the physical felt uncomfortable around an individual will just be the just a taking off with one head with one shot and just come back and put it back on. I'm sew it back on or something when I come back. If I feel the way again, if I feel it looks this shit moves the wrong way it looks at me, I'm gonna just break it off again. That's it. Now, a person who says why a person takes it so serious, because I'm not gonna play with the ignorance of other individuals when it comes to one's acknowledgement of one's social economics. Because conduct is everything to me in the physical reality when it comes to one's education. Have a wonderful life. My name is Ralph Lorenzo.